Labs' tagline is rediscovering the joy of making. And I am Jennyfer Peterson. So my official title is Facilities and Member Services. That translates to day-to-day operations manager, only I don't like that title. So I think the other one's a little more descriptive of what I do. If the bathroom breaks, and they report it to me, so that's facilities. If the projector breaks, they report it to me. But I also do the membership onboarding. A team of people does that, so I think it's a little more descriptive. Okay, I am by day a senior network engineer. I used to work for EDS, and then I worked for HP, and then I worked for, so now I work for the company to be named later. Okay, so legally we are not allowed to call it what they have announced. So I'm waiting to see what goes on the business cards. So I think this is my 5th company in as many years. So that's who I am. I work on a contract for DISA, writing cybersecurity policy in the network area. Okay. So the objectives of this talk with you guys is to learn the elements of the maker movement, but also to give you some context for Nova Labs. Learn about Nova Labs Inc. that's located in Reston, Virginia, and explain the basics of getting started at Nova Labs. Okay, so just get those 3 things out of here. So a little bit of background about the maker movements in Nova Labs first. What is the maker movement? So the maker movement was started in 2005 by the founder of Make Magazine, so roughly 2005. The maker movement is a combination of the pre-existing and more familiar DIY, so more hobbyist people, and then a community, and then you get DIT, doing it together. So I always tell people when they come in, the most important thing that is here at Nova Labs is the community. Not the tools, those are secondary, it's the community. Everybody can have tools in their garage, and a lot of our people do have full-fledged garages. But why do they come here? The community, okay? So it's fueled by passion and powered by the advances in technology. In other words, so some people refer to it as the 3rd industrial movement. That's the maker movement, which is pretty fascinating. And it coexists with the traditional manufacturing and digital manufacturing, which is a lot of the tools we have are driven by digital manufacturing tools, digital fabrication. So we have CNCs, which is a computerized tool. So it's that they get very excited about. We have this event called Tom, okay? It's a Jewish name, Tukum Olam. But this event helps, and those are pictures, 2 pictures from that event. This event, when it comes to quality of life for older people with medical conditions, the government and the large manufacturers of health products are not doing a really good job. If people have a disability, a lot of times it's very tailored just to that person. The solution for quality of life, the medical stuff is different, but quality of life stuff is kind of like, which iPhone do you get? You know, it's more, which coffee cup do you get? It depends on your likes and dislikes. It depends on the specific characteristics of your disability. The maker movement can individualize a coffee cup like nobody's business. And it's okay if that coffee cup is just used by that person and nobody else. But the other thing they do, though, The mass part of it is they put that development on the internet, the plans. So see now, here in Dallas, we're here in Reston, we developed that coffee cup for that person. Somebody in Dallas can then take that coffee cup, modify it, go into a makerspace, and print their modification for their parents or for their son, right? You see, mass customization. So the fact that it's on the plans are on the internet means that everybody can do it, but they can all make it individualized. You see how that is? That's not something that a large manufacturer can do. So, special needs, one-of-a-kind items. So here's Fred over here, his brother. Those birds of prey, when they do studies, the scientists do studies, it's very expensive, that collar. And the birds do very inconvenient things like they're flying over the ocean and they just talk, right? And there goes $1,000 worth of equipment. Okay, so he developed something cheaper, and so it's tailored for what his brother was doing. So there's another instance there in another area. So fostering entrepreneurship is another thing that our makerspace, at least, is doing pretty well. We'd like to get better at it. So here's a picture of a pitch event that we had. And also, now they're doing this first responder challenge, where they're developing technology very tailored to first responders. And some of the stuff coming out of there is very exciting. Maker Faire. That's our largest event that we do each year in March, right smack in the middle of March. And here's some information about it. Maker Faire, the original one, was in San Mateo, California, right outside of San Francisco. And they're just really, really hands-on events. So if you get a chance to take your kids or your grandkids, be prepared to spend the whole day, and they'll be exhausted afterwards. It's a lot of hands-on. Some people ended up, I think, just being in the same building the entire time. So it really turns the kids on, and the adults too. We had even blacksmithing this year. So. Other community spaces. There's some other community spaces that are very similar to ours. Fab Lab in DC, the Hackerspace over there, the community center over in Reston. There's a Woodshop there. That's a community center. What we think we bring to the table, there's no competition between these. What we think we bring to the community is we have the space is we have the strongest community out there. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. We hear that all the time, that is the delta between other spaces and ours. Nova Labs Makerspace specifically. So that was about the movement in general. This is about us. Founded in 2011 by 14 people who brought various things to the table. Some people brought skills, some people brought money. So can you guess what they got in return for that initial investment? So if you thought nothing, that's pretty close to it. They got the joy of making with the rest of us. So they haven't demanded anything, which I find very astonishing when I see them just kind of mixed in and too embarrassed to be identified. They don't make a big deal about themselves. Were you here at the founding club? About a year later. So 2011. So that's 2011. That's not that long ago when you think about it. So we're fairly new. We have a lot of toddler type problems. If you get involved, you'll see what I mean. Okay, some invested, we opened in about 2012, okay? We were helped by another organization. It was, you see that space in the back, F? Okay, right next to it, we opened, that was 1,600 square feet. That's one of those units that you store things in. It's pretty deep. None of the tiles match. And then a year later, we doubled in space to 3,200 square feet. There you go. And so in that picture, though, that picture is kind of interesting. Well, anyway, we moved in August of 2015, and that's where we are. We call it Nova Labs 2.0, and our future building we call it 3.0. But in that, there are a bunch of founders in there. There's Fred and Justin. But that guy with the beard is from Google. So our building is Google money, quite a bit of Google money. We're terrible at finding people to donate money. So thank goodness for Google, who, that guy right there, Vince Search. Does anybody recognize the name? insert TCPIP. Yeah, TCPIP. He's known as father of TCPIP. But he is absolutely in love with his space. His wife is disabled. I think she has vision issues. And so he comes once in a while and has a Fred help him with some stuff. So, but, you know, they've donated quite a bit. I think 150,000 at this point. Not a lot in terms of other people, but we've really, between the do-it-yourselfers, all of who's together, the idea that we're a community and the idea that one person teaches another person and it doesn't matter how old or young, that's how we built our building, with that, leveraging that concept. One person knows how to do something and they taught everybody else, and that's how we got that beautiful space, is we did almost all the work, except for what was illegal, electricity and other. Today though, we're still a not-for-profit, but today we have a 10,500 square foot facility. So when you walk in, you only see about a third of the space. Okay, so most people are very surprised when they go to the back, and that's quite deliberate. That you see the nice part of the space. You don't see the dirty, icky shop people, the nice shop people. So, which is very good. So it makes the front very approachable. Okay, and that's something that makerspaces, a lot of makerspaces you walk into get wrong. Our space out front, you've got big comfy couches. It's very, very approachable. That's why we have a lot of women. That's one of the reasons. That's also a reason we have a lot of families. Okay, so and there's a study that shows that we were right. So here's all the stuff we have though, and some representative pictures. So there you see woodworking. So we have classrooms and stuff. And strangely, in all of the building, okay, and if the woodshop people were here and the laser cutter people were here and the 3D, they wouldn't want me to say this, but in all the building, as the person who does operations, I tell you, the classrooms and the conference rooms are our most valuable resources. We can make a ton of money renting those out. Still, just with our mindset, 1/3 of our events are free. Those rooms belong to the makers. That's how we think about those rooms. Yeah, we could make a lot of money, but our makers would leave, okay? So that's not the point of the maker space. So, but they're very valuable because they enable us to teach each other, right? So here's some of the other things we have. Notice we have an electronic area. That's an area that we'd hope to grow, and so we're very excited to have you guys joining us and, you know, being involved with us in some way, and hoping to attract some of your attention, some of your expertise into this space so that we can grow this area in particular. We like nicer things there. Okay, current participation level. So here's some information about current participation level. When you go up onto our meetup, you'll see it's today it was 5,400 people there. Most of those people are passive. That's just the way free signups are. I'd say 25% of those people come in, so about 1,000 of them, 1,500, something like that, per month. Okay, so not a lot of those people. It looks good. I've seen meetups with 10,000 people, and they have one meetup on their calendar. Okay, we have about 150 to 200 things happening at Nova Labs per month. Okay, and considering it's an all-volunteer space, that's pretty good. So here's some of the events we have. Our largest events are the cybersecurity events, the technical speakers. Those are where we'll get 100 people signed up. Yeah, not all of those people show up. Maybe 50% of them do. It's the West NBC area after all. VidChain, our Tom event is really big because it involves everybody working together. Faire and the drone events. Our vision. So here's our vision here. You'll notice I underlined the word fearlessness. In the maker movement, we believe in learning by doing, and that involves a lot of failure. Okay, so that's another F word, you know, but we didn't want to use it because it's kind of negative. So we substituted fearlessness, but that's what we need. We were tortured for 3 hours not to use the word maker anywhere in here. So it's not in here, but it's a very good description of what we believe making is. That's what it is. I looked it up on the internet, and all those words are there. So, as you can see, we have here teacher and mentor. So see, it's not only the people who are back there working on metal, working on wood. It's not about just the industrial people. It's also about the people who teach the small skills as well that build into the bigger skills. If you're going to make something and light it up, you need to know electronics as well, right? So the person who teaches you electronics doesn't necessarily have to be the person who teaches you the laser cutter, right? So operating, and you know, the mission statement is very valuable because it keeps us kind of focused on what our scope is. So if somebody comes and says, hey, I'd like to do, you know, language, ASL classes, or I'd like to do Pilates, both of which have happened, you know, or self-defense, you know, that keeps us on track and focused on what we're supposed to be doing. So operating model, managed by the board of directors, okay? So there's only two ways to form a not-for-profit in Virginia, and one of those is a dictatorship. Okay, the board of directors get to decide things. However, we have a benevolent dictatorship is what we got going on over here, and we hope it stays that way. But that's basically what you have. The members have a huge say, because without us, who's going to fix the bandsaw? The directors? I think not, right? So that's where our power comes from, right? So they have to listen to us because we fix the place and we run the classes, and we are the makerspace. So that's where our power comes from. The emphasis, though, is on community, collaboration, and learning. And one of the spaces that you'll see on this slide back here, you see down there at the bottom, it says Greenway and Orange Bay. Those are collaboration areas. They're large, large, large areas. So that's the emphasis right there that we put on collaboration and community. So we are not a business, okay? I thought it was 30 minutes.
Bob's coming next, right?
Oh, yeah. So he only has a few slides. Okay, so minor policy. So folks want to know, wait a minute, I skipped a bunch of slides. So here's the participation levels. We have 4 of them. To participate, you do not have to be a member. We'd like you to be a member. It gives you a lot more access. But we do have things that guests can go to. We do have things that attendees can go to. You can buy a day pass once you've gone to a Go class. And then there are 2 paid subscriber levels. One is for $50 a month, and the other one is $100 a month. And you can see the description there. So for $100 a month, you can also bring on 1 family member for free. So that's worth 2 associate memberships. And then you can bring on other family members that live with you for $10 a month. Okay? And the minor policy. Okay, so the minor policy is, this is a kid doing a take apart, which is one of our signature events. The minor policy is parents of everyone under 18 must remain at the lab, and they must follow the instructions on the meetup. Okay, we have each meetup that happens, or meetups are like classes and stuff that we do. If we have a special thing that breaks up just for kids, we'll put it on there. There's almost never anything. As long as your parents are with you, you can pretty much do just about anything at Nova Labs that's appropriate for a child. Okay? So we intend for it to be kind of like the old way where it's, you know, the parent is teaching the child, except they're using a shared tool at Nova Labs. Okay? But the bottom line down there, you see there? So I'm when I speak to kids groups and stuff, or for my interns, the way that the program is run is through Maker Quest, which is a quintessential maker movement kind of thing. Rather than attending class after class after class like they do at school, it's better if they select a project and go on a quest to learn the skills, to acquire the skills they need for that Maker Quest. See what I'm saying? So, you know, the class, taking a laser class and never doing anything with it is what a lot of people who walk through the door are about. That's not how you really acquire laser cutter mojo, okay? it's through the project. Lab hours, this can be kind of complicated because it's so flexible. It's like buying cereal, there's so much choice. Okay, so we have guaranteed hours from 5:30 to 8:30, but those are for people like guests and attendees who are not subscribing members. The associates, you know, like Bob was probably there at 11 this morning. If you're an associate, you kind of get to know, you know, where everybody hangs out, and they'll let you in within reason. Okay? So associates have independent access to the space once they get it. Okay, key members have a key to the front door. Okay, so instructor incentive program. So this slide is about that part where we're teachers and sharers. Okay, so one of the ways that we incentivize that 150 to 200 events, and the portion of that, you know, that's paid, is we pay the instructor between 70% and 80% of the proceeds from the class. So that's why I said on that other slide, most of how our operation budget is actually member dues. Okay, so that's why that's emphasized. But the members come here for a reason, and we know it, so that's why we do it this way. Okay, no content, no members, probably, or some members, the ones that can think for themselves. So ways to get started. So I have FAQs up on the wiki that it's got just enough for you to get started. Okay, basically it tells you go to go. If you've decided to get involved in the space, but the first thing really is a tour. Come over, look at the space. We don't want you to join unless you're sure that this is someplace that you're going to use. Don't do it like a gym membership. There's a lot of free stuff that you can try before you buy, okay? So we don't want people flipping every 5 minutes, you know, oh, I'm a member, I'm not a member. Once you've decided to get involved, though, then the next thing is the go. And the go explains the processes and procedures and policies and code of conduct that we have. You know, we're not the internet. We don't believe in people yelling at each other and stuff like that. We're pretty serious about that. And the clean up after yourself thing. If you have any further questions, just contact me at info@nova-labs.org, no matter what the question is. Okay? And I'll get somebody to respond to you.
I'm Bob Cogeshall, and I am a member of Nova Labs. Nova Labs started, as Jennifer described, and we did with Lee Suresco. Do you remember him? He was very active in the MCOM community, and he and I did a intro class in 2013, 14. 2015, not much happened. Lots of talk. We moved into the new space, but we were all very busy with the new space, just getting the thing done. But then 2016, new people showed up, and that's I was just the facilitator. They said, we want to do ham radio here, and I said okay, and I showed them the roof and our donated stuff, and they taught a licensing, an intro class and a licensing class, and I think a couple of people who are BWS members came over and who are VEs and helped us with the licensing class, and you got your license there. I upgraded there, and I think we minted several new 20-something. We'll go to the next class. 29 were served, 26 new licenses. So we were very proud of that. So Nova Labs is just a squat little building. Ebola was first isolated in the same area, another building. And we're on just off hole 5 of the Hidden Creek golf course, and there's lots of nice one-story large flat roof. This is our map. You say, oh, so what? Well, I'm going to show you basically we got 2 big classrooms and smaller rooms which can act as classrooms, and also a big area which can also act as a classroom. As for ham radio, these are our facilities so far. We have a ham radio locker, which is on wheels and can go anywhere. And then we have 2 runs of LMR 400, which come down from the roof in the back of this classroom. And our goal is, on our number 1 to-do, is to get some, we have the LMR 400, and we're going to run it internally so we can run events with the antennas, both HF and VHF, UHF, from either A, B, or conference room 1 or 2. There's our beautiful roof. And then there we have installed a 144-440 vertical. And we have a G5 RV that fell down. I bought a brand new one, and we have to plug it back in. We have to get it, just string it back up. So this is our list. You can just talk to me afterwards about this list. But basically, getting the G5 RV back up, running the internal LMR 400, and getting somebody who knows about bonding and grounding. I got to watch the video, and please, hats off to you for putting this all online, because I watch them. There's our inventory. It's just hand-me-downs mostly, nothing special, and I don't have time to really leave that up. But anyway, to get involved, here's what you do. I'm going to pass out little sheets of paper so you don't forget how. Basically, you go to our website, you register. This is free, by the way. Getting on our mailing list. Oh, there it is. Pardon me. So getting on our mail list is free, and that's how you get involved. Basically, just register, get on that list. It's not high volume. We won't spam you. We will not sell you to Cambridge Analytica. And just introduce yourself, and you're going to get in contact with members that are Nova Labs members who are hams and want to do something, and things you can do. What Jennifer said, just come to orientation, attend the tour, and you can basically, if you want to do ham stuff, contact one of us who is a ham, and you can talk about, we can do classes, you can do demos. Mike's already doing demos, and that's it.
Thank you very much.